Welcome everyone to today's Shotsukihoyo service for the month of August. The earlier part of this week, I learned that Reverend Fujimoto was recovering from minor surgery and that he is now recuperating very nicely at home and doing well. So in the meantime, for today's service, we will have two of our known Enmanji Temple members who will be conducting the service. The Dharma message will be delivered today by Lauren Yamasaki, who has led Miyazaki, yes, who has led our Dharma program for some time, and by George Stow, who will do the sutra chanting for us. Let us all begin with a short reading. Please join me in Gassho for the meditation. George will ring the bell before we start and end the meditation at its conclusion. Please join in Gassho. All existing things are impermanent and without abiding self. They are like the moon reflected in waters, like lightning, like shadows, like dew. The Dharma cannot be expressed by words, the Buddha proclaimed. Thus, I bow in reverence to the Noble One, Amida. Namo Amida.
Namo Amida.
Namo Amida.
Namo Amida.
Namo Amida. Please all rise now for the opening kata in the purple book 166. No, it's not the purple book, it's the brown book. Sorry, the brown book, page 166, when we see the golden sun. And please remain standing for the three treasures. In the purple book. Rare is it to receive life in human form, yet now I have received it. Rare is it to hear the Buddha's Dharma, yet now I have heard it. Unless I cross this illicit world in the present life, in what life could I possibly cross? Let us assemble together and taking refuge in the three treasures with deep sincerity.
I take refuge in the Buddha. My sincere wish is that together with all beings, I may understand and experience the great path and rise to the highest holy mind. I take refuge in the Dharma. My sincere wish is that together with all beings, I may deeply enter the storehouse of Buddha and attain ocean-like wisdom. I take refuge in the Sangha. My sincere wish is that together with all beings, I may accordingly be united to the Buddhist assembly and become free from all illusions.
The highest, most profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter, even through millions of kalpas. Now I am able to see and hear it, to receive and keep it. It is my sincere wish that I may understand the true and real essence of the Tathagata. Namo Buddhist.
Namo Buddhist.
Namo Buddhist.
Namo Buddhist.
Namo.
Namo Buddhist.
Shotsukihoyo Our Shotsukihoyo service is held in observance of all those family members, relatives, and friends we have lost during the month in which it is observed. The names of the Shotsukihoyo honorees for August will now be read. So with those family and friends observing the Shotsukihoyo today, please come forward as the names are read. Isano Bo, Reverend Ruichi Fuji, Hiroshi Tom Furusho, Juzo Hamamoto, Fred Furuzawa, Misao Ishibashi, Yayoi Kobayashi, Chioko Matsuda, James Shigeo Miyano, Shima Namba, Yoshi Okamura, Kanuma Onomiya, Masao Otamura, Shio Shimazu, Isako Shimizu, Ronald Tsudamoto, Fred Yokoyama, Shigeno Yokoyama, Charles Yamamoto, Shizuko Arishida, Walter Peterson, Kazumo Makaida, Harry Hiroshi Watani, Dorothy Aiko Shimizu. Syed Sakato, Masano Shimizu, Irene Masako Fujiki, Masaru Fujiki, Meiko Endo, Mary Sakiko Noguchi. Marjorie Raymond Dangers. Fumi Taji. Daniel Rotani. Gabriel Gable. And Hideaki Matsuda. Thank you. We will now continue with sutra chanting, which will be led by George Thao. George will begin with Sambu Jo on page 24 of the Purple Book, and he will continue the sutra chanting on page 93 of the Purple Book, Juseige. Page 24, Sambu Jo, followed by 93. And today's Dharma message will be delivered by Lauren Miyazaki. Mr. Miyazaki?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Barbara. And before I start, I was speaking to Barbara before the service, and I asked her, well, how long do you want me to speak? And Barbara said, 5 seconds. And she also said, she's sitting right here, she'll give me the sign if she wants me to stop. So I'll be watching you. Well, it's my honor to be asked to deliver this Dharma message in the absence of Reverend Fujimoto. So we want to wish him all the best. To begin, would you please join me in Gasho for this reading? The light of purity is without compare. When a person encounters this light, all bounds of karma fall away. So take refuge in Amida, the ultimate shelter. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. So hello again, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for coming to today's service. The monthly Shotsukihoyo service is very meaningful, and it expresses our gratitude to those who have given us so much. We are grateful for all they have done to make our lives one of hope, purpose, and fulfillment. By keeping the memories of our loved ones alive, we can hopefully better understand ourselves. If you break down the word Shotsukihoyo, Sho means joyous, Suki, month, and Hoyo, Dharma essence. Joyous month of Dharma essence. Although this is a time of remembrance, it is also a time of grateful and happy thoughts of times past. Remembering our loved one conjures up many memories. Our lives are not easy. We suffer through the same trials and tribulations of living. Basically, we are all the same, and we have so much in common. The question, though, is how do we govern our lives? How do we interact with others? Buddhists try to incorporate gratitude into daily life, especially expressing thanks for things like food and shelter, and the opportunity to cultivate wisdom and compassion. Amida Buddha's virtue is transferred to us in the form of his name, Namo Amida Butsu. So when we say the name Butsu, we are saying that we take refuge in the infinite wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha. This becomes the true cause of our birth in the Pure Land as we cross over from this world of suffering to the other shore of enlightenment. The 3 poisons of greed, anger, and ignorance are spoken of many times. The difficult question is to how do we overcome them? Some would say it is impossible. Others would say that through Amida's teachings, we should try. If we saw a bottle of poison, like weed killer, Roundup, or something like that, we would never think of drinking it. Such poisons have strong labels warning us not to drink or consume it because it is a poison. Consuming such a poison would destroy our good health and life. Likewise, Buddhism is warning us that the 3 poisons are equally threatening to our life. They could consume our life, they could destroy the good life that we have and live. The 3 poisons are the root causes of our suffering and the principal obstacles on the path to spiritual liberation. These poisons reflect upon the three energies of ego's focus on itself. Greed, we want to attract and hold on to what is good for us. Anger, we want to repel what is bad for us. And ignorance, we are indifferent to what doesn't really affect us personally. Earlier in the service, our person Barbara read the three treasures and we followed along. And we all said, I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. All of us here are the Sangha. And your beloved family members and friends who have passed were the Sangha. If we listen, if we truly listen, they are teaching us even today. So by definition, the Sangha is the Buddhist community who follow the teachings of the Buddha. Under this meaning, the Sangha is the third jewel in which a follower of the Buddha might take refuge along with the Buddha and the Dharma. There's a story that I once told to the Dharma school students that reflects these thoughts. And I would like to read that story to you now. A long time ago in Japan, there was a poor day laborer who lived in a shack. He saved little money, but he wanted to save to get a better home. And he also wanted to find someone to marry. So one day, the poor man went to the market, and at a store, he saw a beautiful statue of the goddess of happiness. He barely had enough money to buy it, but he did. He brought the statue home and prayed morning and night for 3 years to have his life be better. Sad to say that nothing was improving, but he kept on working hard. The man became very sad and thought maybe he should just give up. But after those 3 years had passed, there was a knock on the door. He opened the door, and there stood a beautiful young lady. "Who are you?" he asked. The lady said, "I am the goddess of happiness. I want to meet you and become your wife." The man thought to himself, "Am I dreaming?" The man invites her in. But before she speaks to her sister, who was standing in the shadows, to come in with her. Her sister is the goddess of unhappiness. The man does not want the sister to come in. The goddess of happiness says, "No, my sister comes with me wherever I go. You must accept both of us." This is where the story ends. And you can only wonder if the man allowed both of the sisters to enter his house, to enter his life. Was he awakened to the reality of life? The story tells the message that Amida's light shines upon all of us. The truth of life is that we must recognize all that surrounds us, the good and the bad. The acceptance of this truth is the challenge. Buddhism promotes compassion, which can help individuals develop empathy, reduce anger, and improve relationships with others. In our practice, individuals can better understand their thoughts and emotions, improving mental clarity and emotional stability. I'd like to take a moment to talk about regrets. Regrets. Do we have regrets? In essence, regret comes down to something we wish we did differently or tried to do. Regrets are like rear view mirrors of our lives. But if we are consumed with regret, we do not look forward. There should be a balance. Imagine yourself driving down the freeway and constantly looking at your rear view mirror because someone is driving too close. You may be compromising your attention of going forward. I'd like to share a story looking back at my family, and I have a regret that I wish I had done better. I should have told my mother more often how much I appreciated her. Growing up, I took her for granted. And now that I'm older, I realize that she had the same ups and downs that we all encounter. My mother passed away 18 years ago at the age of 92 due to lingering illnesses and multiple strokes. She would tell my siblings and I, when she died, not to tell anybody. Really. She said, no funeral, no obituary. But what she was telling us was that she didn't want anyone to be inconvenienced. Not to argue with her, we would say, okay. I got around the no funeral request by having a memorial service. Little play on words, I felt okay with that. Kind of sneaky on my part, I guess. Before I retired from pharmacy, I would tell my staff to meet and greet the patients as if they were their friends. Initially, it would start with Mr. Jones, Mrs. Smith, and gradually it would be please, Bob, Mary, their first names. It meant so much to do that as opposed to just handing out bottled medicine. The appreciation was felt on both sides. I would tell my staff to always be professional and courteous and act of kindness. If Joe Montana walked in, and he did, to our pharmacy, Joe Montana would walk in, I told my staff not to ask for his autograph and be respectful for his time. They never listened to me. Joe. Working in Hillsburg, we would have many visitors coming to the wine country from all over the USA. They would say how beautiful it is, this area. There's no snow, it is warm, it's sunny. They're coming from, New York, Chicago, whatever. And then on some occasions, these visitors would run out of their medication, and they'll come into the pharmacy. And so, but we had a certain protocol. We just couldn't just give them medication. But if there's something medically necessary, such as for blood pressure, diabetes, things like that, we would give them a few doses to tide them over until we got the order. On my days off, when these situations came up, the staff would ask themselves, what would Lauren do? They really did that. What would, and they followed suit. They knew what I would do. We live every moment of every today. Our lives are a gift. My feeling is that when I get that phone call or text message, I don't want to put it off. Some of us have excuses. Oh, too busy, watching my favorite TV program, on the internet, all that. But as you know, tomorrow is promised to no one. In conclusion, as we think of Shotsukihoyo and the meaning of today's service, we may be saying goodbye to a loved one, but we will be saying hello again. We will. Through the wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha, this will happen. I would like to end my message with the opening meditation that I started with. Please place your hands together in Gospel. The light of purity is without compare. When a person encounters this light, all bounds of karma fall away. So take refuge in Amida, the ultimate shelter. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lauren, Mr. Miyazaki. But I just hope that everybody will understand, the majority of you do, that the friendship that I have with Lauren, he totally understands what my 5-second meant. It was all in jest. Thank you, Lauren, for today's message. Will everyone please stand and rise for the Gasa Seiya in the purple book on page 226. Before we conclude the service today, Kent has another little exercise that he would like to go through with us. A short new golf lap.
So I'm taking advantage of the fact that we're maybe a little bit ahead of schedule today since Reverend Fujimoto isn't here. But as many of you know, for the what service did we just for the
Bishop's Memorial.
no, before that, last month. What did we have?
Award.
Oh yes, for the Obon service, I had you folks sing a song you've never sung before, and it actually went pretty well. But for the Bishop's Memorial Service we're going to have later this month, not next week, but in 2 weeks, I believe. What I'd like to have you sing is in the Purple Book on page 173, and this is dedication. This is the pretty much literal translation of the Ondoksan that you sing. This is all English, and I'd like to do this for the Bishop's Memorial Service. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how well you can kind of practice this. I will play this twice. There will be a break in between, so hopefully you'll be able to tell when the first time through is over. But I'd like to have you just try it, and we'll see if we can possibly do this when Reverend Umezu is here for our Bishop's Memorial Service. Thank you. So you can go ahead and stand at this point. There is a short introduction, and then I'll have you sing. There is an introduction.
wasn't bad, but I think can't make a few more hours of rehearsals before the bishop's service. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining us for the August Shotsukihoyo service. And I'd like to thank Lauren Miyazaki for filling in and delivering today's Dharma message. I'd like to thank George Dow for ringing the concho, as well as preparing the Enmanji for the service. Dr. Kent for the music, and the August Toban under the leadership of Diane and Helene for the flowers and offerings for the Enmanji. And of course, we have Ty, the videography, and for the editing of today's service as well. And it will appear in a couple days from now. Thank you. We're looking forward to having Reverend Fujimoto fully recovered and return to hopefully join us again soon. So for today, please join us for light refreshments next door. And then I'll have a little visit before we all leave. Thank you for joining us today.